The good daughter complex in third party situationships. Welcome to the Luminousz Ztarr live stream. All right. It begins with Mommie Dearest issues. The good daughter complex comes with a strong need and desire to please her narcissistic mom to such a degree that it may become an obsession. By becoming familiar with perhaps sacrificing herself for her narcissistic mother, the good daughter could unconsciously seek a play to play a dysfunctional role in all of her relationships with others. Simply put, see, when it starts with Mommie Dearest issues, a woman who has the good daughter complex, she becomes a person, unfortunately, that may not only want to please her mother, but other people. This sets her up for a third party situation. So by becoming familiar with perhaps sacrificing herself for her narcissistic mother, the good daughter could unconsciously seek to play a dysfunctional role in all of her relationships. This is personal as well as professional. Okay. Having a good daughter complex might influence her to develop a high tolerance for dysfunctional relationships, such as third party situations with a narcissist. The dysfunctional pattern of the good daughter complex can range from people pleasing to egoism or egoism. Okay, so I'm going to go over egoism in a second here. But to sum this up, having a good daughter complex, it will more than likely influence her to develop a high tolerance for dysfunctional relationships. Okay, such as the third party situation with a narcissist. But not only that, this may put her in a position to choose poorly when it comes to relationships with other people, such as trusting other people. She may be too trusting, right, of other people, or she may just miss the mark. Because even though she may come off to be trustworthy herself, right? She might be more than likely she has very beautiful traits, but unfortunately, she will end up attracting those individuals who have a dark personality, such as a narcissist. So the behavioral pattern of the good daughter complex can range from people pleasing to egoism, meaning that she will dwarf or fade off into the background and actually be comfortable there in all of her relationships. She may be the person at work who is working the hardest, but she gets the least recognition. She may be the person in the relationship who does the mostest, right? But she gets the least. She tends to overgive and not receive enough, right? Or under receive. All right. What is egoism? Egoism is sometimes considered the opposite of narcissism, but central to being an egoist is a fear of seeming like a narcissist, right? They fear being the center of attention or a burden to others. Individuals like that tend to be warm-hearted to the point of overgiving and under-receiving. Like I just pointed out, a lot of women who have the Mommie Dearest issues, right? Okay, she has the good daughter complex. This is going to set her up for a third party situation because narcissists often look for people like the good daughter who are people who are I was going to say overachievers, but they usually are people who are people pleasers, right? What can they do in order to make sure that everybody else is okay? Yet she's overgiving, right? She's doing the mostest, but yet she's getting the least. Okay, so they often tend to be self-effacing and overly modest. Unfortunately, and obsessing over how not to be the narcissist or who is self-absorbed. The egoist is ironically also self-absorbed. Okay, so that's kind of like the flip side, or that's the opposite side of the same spectrum. The spectrum being the narcissistic relationship. So when you have a woman who has the good daughter complex, and she has Mommie Dearest issues, she's often trying to seek the validation from her mom. So that's going to spill over to her other relationships. So she may be doing the mostest. She may be she may be doing a little bit too much, right? Okay, so the egoist is ironically also self-absorbed. Why? Because she's focused. She's super focused on trying to get the validation. Unfortunately, some people may tend to misread her as being self-absorbed, right? She's doing a little bit too much. And unfortunately, for a dark personality like a narcissist, they're going to eat this up. They're going to see this a mile away. So this is going to set her up for the third party situation. First, her mommy, or the narcissistic mom, is the one who is self-centered. Why is she self-centered? Because she's looking for the source supply by any means. Unfortunately, she is jeopardizing the mother-daughter relationship in the process. She would do anything in order to get that source supply. Unfortunately, when she writes these false narratives, okay, it's almost like she's sacrificing her daughter for the source supply. Now, I know that kind of sounds, stark, but really look at it. It's like the narcissistic mom will do just about anything to get that source supply. Okay, so it's like it's on the opposite side of the same coin here. You have the narcissistic mom, and then you have the good daughter here, or the daughter who has a good daughter complex. The complex is that she wants to please her mama at all costs, even if that means she's going to sacrifice herself. This may mean that some people are looking at her as being self-absorbed. She's trying to gain validation by any means necessary. But like her mama, she's trying to gain a goal at any means necessary, by any means necessary, right? So that's how that can look. Okay, the term was coined by clinical psychologist and expert on narcissism, Dr. Craig Malkin. And people who exhibit traits of egoism tend to be vulnerable to abuse from dark personality types, including narcissists and various types of psychopaths. Okay, so again, Mommie Dearest, she might be a covert narcissist. She might be a narcissist. This is a dark personality type. Unfortunately, for her daughter, right, she's going to be suffering the most. Why? Because she's trying to reach her mom. She wants something that perhaps she will never get. She may end up being an adult before she realizes she will not ever reach her mom in this way. Now, the way her mama loves her, right, may be very painful. It hurts. The way she loves is just not something that a woman who has a complex to reach her mom is not. I mean, really, it's not going to work for her. Not as an adult. Now, as a child, she may have fantasies and she may be a little bit naive because she's a child. She's impressionable at that time. She will do just about anything for her mommy, right? But as an adult, she's going to realize she has Mommie Dearest issues. This complex comes with a heavy price. And some women will outgrow that. They will accept that they're outgrowing the narcissist relationship. Okay, so this is not going to continue in an adult woman's life, right? But she's gonna find out it's not gonna be working for her. Even though that's her mama, she loves her mama, she respects her mama, right? But it's just the relationship is just very dysfunctional and it's costing her. It's spilling over into her other relationships. Examples of egoism: interactions with envious relatives and peers. Now, how does that sound? That sounds like Mommie Dearest issues. Why? Because narcissistic moms, they are often in fierce competition with their daughters, meaning that she's placing her daughter in a hostile situation where she not only has to be in fierce competition with other siblings, perhaps, and other relatives for Mommie Dearest affections, right? But she's also in competition with her own mother because her mother envies her. So this is how some women who have a good daughter complex can end up overwhelmed in their personal relationships. But then it may spill over to her professional relationships. Okay, she may be the person who's taking on most of the tasks during the day or on her job. She's doing the mostest, yet she's being paid the least. She's being recognized the least. She may be a part of a group project on her job, but she's the one that's recognized the least. She's not given the recognition. She's not even getting the pay. She may be in a job where she is overqualified and underpaid. Okay, so that's what that looks like right there. Dr. Malkin explains that egoism may be rooted in upbringing. For instance, if one's parents discourage pride or molded self-effacement, then children might grow up to be the same. There are other cases of parents who are secretly envious of their child's talents and accomplishments and are mounting their own unmet dreams, therefore attacking others who have the spotlight. Egoism may also be seeded by attacks from envious siblings, and in an attempt to protect oneself, egoists avoid standing out at all costs, resorting to self-sabotage behaviors such as delaying studying or turning papers in. Now, that last part right there, to me, I take away, for instance, some women who have this complex to please their narcissistic moms, right? The good daughter complex. She may be at work, and due to social anxiety, the pressure of it all, the pressure of having these narcissistic relationships, being in third party situations, okay, it's taking its toll. So at work, she may be taking on additional pressure. Why? Because she's trying to please everyone, not only in her personal life, but in her professional life. And due to this anxiety, it may take its toll with physical exertion, emotional stress, emotional exertion. She may just be exhausted, okay, at this point. Exhausted. She's tired. She's bogged down, right? Her health is taking a hit. So therefore, it's going to start to show. She may be a person who starts to procrastinate. She may put things off because she's becoming overwhelmed. She's at her wit's end, right? Just think about being in a third party situation and actually being involved in a network of third party situations, because narcissists tend to have a network of narcissists. Narcissists tend to have a network of third party situations. So before you know it, a person can be in a situation where it's just not only emotionally draining, but it's physically taking its toll. Financially, it may be taking a toll because maybe good daughter is the one who's buying up all of these lavish gifts because she doesn't want to come off as a bad person. She wants to please everybody. But she may feel and think that she's obligated and responsible for making everybody else happy. She's doing the mostest and she's getting the least. Okay? All right. It begins with Mommie Dearest issues, right? Okay, examples of egoism. Continuing on with that. Double standards. Others come first. Low self-esteem. Poor boundaries. Self-evasing or being withdrawn. Not asking for help. Fear of becoming burdensome or difficult. So I went over some of these already in a nutshell here. The person who has, or a woman who has the good daughter complex and she has a narcissistic mom, she's going to have double standards really, not the daughter, but the mother will have double standards. And not only that, the daughter may have a partner and she might be in a third party situation on that end too. She is experiencing the double standards of other people. Not only is she expected, and other people have unrealistic expectations of good daughter, but it starts with her mom. Right? The Mommie Dearest issues saga continues on into her romantic situation. She has a third party situation on that side and on the side where she's dealing with her mama. And not only that, it may be during her career or in her career. She may be a person who is a part of the group and she's the one that's getting the least. And this is professionally. Her boss may take things out on her supervisor, the manager, whomever. See, the thing about that double standard goes like this. The woman who has the complex to please everyone, it's ironic that she will not cheat anyone, more than likely, but people will not mind cheating her. Okay, so that's a double standard. So continue on. Others come first. A woman who has a complex to please, or it starts with her mom. She wants to please mom, but she just can't seem to please. So she may dwarf. She may sacrifice herself. She may put herself last. Everybody comes before her. She doesn't want to seem burdensome. She doesn't want to seem to be a problem. So she may have low self-esteem, poor boundaries. See, when it comes down to the woman who has the complex to please or having the good daughter complex, well, other people may perceive her as a person who's an easy target for narcissistic abuse, right? She's primed for source supply. She doesn't have any standards. She doesn't have, she doesn't have boundaries. So she can be placed in anybody's life where they want her in their life. It looks like this. Mommy, her mom, right? The narcissist mom may want the daughter in her life, whereas she makes her look good. Say the daughter is very successful, right? She may be very successful in a lot of areas in her life. But Mommie Dearest wants to make sure that everybody knows her daughter is successful because of her, not because of her daughter. So the good daughter, right, not having any boundaries or poor boundaries, narcissistic mom may place her in her life as the person that makes her look good. Now, let's go to the other end of the third party situation. That's the romantic end. Say the good daughter has, a husband or a partner or what have you, and guess what? They're going to, because of poor boundaries, they're going to more than likely look at the good daughter as a person that they can place in their life to suit them. They want her as the side piece. Let's just say that she is not married to this person. So they want her as the side piece. Say this person is married to somebody else. That's the third party situation right there. So she's the side piece, and she is to be that to this person. That's where they're going to place her in their life. She is the side piece. She is not the wife. She is not to be taken seriously. She is not a best friend, or she is not somebody who is a positive in their life, when actually she probably is a positive, but they're labeling her to be something else. She is a convenience for other people and never the other way around, or not to be the other way around. So that's where the poor boundaries come in, self-evasive or withdrawn. Okay, she's drowning out in the background. She doesn't have a voice. A lot of people who know the woman who has the good daughter complex, more than likely they know her to be a person who doesn't speak up. She doesn't defend herself. She tends to fade off in the background. She doesn't know how to use her voice. She doesn't use her voice. She doesn't even think that she has the right to use her voice. I think that's very deep right there. She doesn't even think she has the right to use her voice, but yet others can speak any kind of way they want to her, right? They can use her name in vain. They can abuse her in her name. That means sometimes if they're doing something to her that's very unpleasant, they may be calling her name. Her mother may be doing something very unpleasant, and she may call her a name. She may give her a nickname that's not very pleasant. She's doing something in the good daughter complex. She's doing something in her name. So the mommy, right? This is Mommie Dearest issues, right? So the good daughter who has the Mommie Dearest issues, she is being mistreated and her name is being used in vain. She is not being called a person who is beloved. She's not being called dear heart. She is not being called sweetheart. No, she's being treated poorly, and she may have some, unfortunately, she may have some names that are not very pleasant that is tacked on to her. This is another way how some people can come along and place a woman who has the good daughter complex anywhere they want to in their life. She is a convenience for them, not the other way around. So they're not going to do for her, but she daggone well she better do for them, right? Okay, not asking for help. So what does that look like? She may be suffering in silence. When Mommie Dearest wants to go ahead and put her daughter in her place and maintain control, she may smear campaign. She may call her daughter all kinds of names. The bottom line is this: her daughter is a problem. That's the overall message that she gives her daughter, and she wants everybody else to believe the same thing about her daughter. It's a false narrative. My daughter is a problem. I'm a victim of circumstance. My daughter is giving me a problem. She's a burden. Okay? So the good daughter, the woman who has a complex to please her mom, her narcissistic mom, she may not ask for help. She may feel overwhelmed. She may be emotionally stressed, financially stressed. She may be going into debt, but she will not ask for help. Yet she's suffering through it all. And who knows it better than the daughter? She is suffering in silence. Fear of becoming burdensome or difficult. I went over that already. So she's doing all of this. She's walking on eggshells. She's keeping the deep, dark, dirty secrets of Mommie Dearest. What is the dark secret? That her narcissist mom is treating her like crap. But who is going to be there for the daughter, the good daughter? Who's going to be there? More than likely no one, because the good daughter may be carrying the mother-daughter relationship, yet is at her own expense. Okay? All right. Let's move on. Okay, laying the foundation for third-party situations. All right. Communication styles of narcissistic mothers can be aggressive, passive-aggressive, submissive, manipulative, direct, and indirect. Okay, mother-daughter relationships can become tense due to mixed signals and attachment styles. The good daughter complex with Mommie Dearest issues often reflects this interchange. Okay, so the communication styles and the attachment styles, which I'm going to get to in a minute, often go hand in hand. It lays the foundation for the third party situation, right? Because a woman who has the complex of the good daughter, very often she will experience having mixed signals from her mom. She's going to question not only her sanity, but where she stands with her mother, yet alone anyone else, right? She may have a partner. So she's probably going to ask, where does she stand? Is she loved? Is she cared for? Does she have the support? Or she's going to feel that she doesn't have the support, but yet she doesn't know how to use her voice, so she is not asking for help. She's not making it known that she's experiencing the relationship one way, right? She's experiencing it in a way that's very painful. Now, it may not be so painful for narcissistic mom in that third party situation. It may not be very painful for her partner in that third party situation, because everybody else is getting what they want except for the woman who has the good daughter complex. Okay, so the attachment styles, very inappropriate sometimes. But the thing that sticks out to me about the communication style is the passive aggressive. That's where the mixed signals come in. The good daughter, she may do something very positive. She may do something that reflects her success. But guess what? Mommie Dearest she doesn't approve. Okay, so she may be passive aggressive in her communication style. She may give her an underhanded compliment. Okay, narcissistic moms, they're very notorious for giving underhanded compliments or backhanded compliments, right? On one hand, they're complimenting you, but on the other, they're insulting you, right? So a good daughter getting this type of mixed signal as she grows up, she's accustomed to that. And unfortunately, this can make her a target of other people doing this as well. So there's your third party situation again. All right, so she may be getting this from her other siblings, because narcissistic mom, in order to keep control of her daughter, she may reach out to her other siblings and tell them lies and manipulate them, making the good daughter look like she's being very hard on her mom or being difficult to her mom. She's being burdensome. So that passive aggressive communication style is the one that sticks out for me more than the rest. But if she had if she had a direct communication style, that would look something like this. Narcissistic mom telling her daughter that she doesn't like her and she doesn't approve of her. I mean, just straight out with it. Believe it or not, most people can deal with that a lot better than the passive aggressive, because the passive aggressive communication style means that there's not a bottom line. You're left guessing. You don't know what's what. And sometimes narcissistic moms, they will They will not make it clear that they are not very happy with their daughters, or they're jealous of their daughters, or they're angry with their daughters, or they're hurt by something their daughters has done and said, right? But they won't make it direct. It's indirect. It's almost like it's passive aggressive. It's very vague. See, the good daughter complex is that she wants to please her narcissistic mom. So she's left guessing. So she's jumping through fiery hoops. She's trying to please her mom, right? She's doing everything possible to no avail. So to me, the most hideous communication style here is the passive aggressive. But at least if the narcissistic mom was direct, even though she may say something like, okay, I don't like you, or I don't like the way you are, or you get on my nerves, or whatever, right? At least this is direct. It's not left to guessing, right? The daughter doesn't have to guess. But as a child, she's going through this all the time. So by the time she grows up, she's accustomed to it. And unfortunately, it will spill over to her other relationships. The mother-daughter relationship can become tense due to the mixed signals and attachment styles. The good daughter complex with mommy dearest issues often reflects this interchange. Okay, laying the foundation. Okay, attachment styles ranges from disorganized insecure to avoidant insecure, anxious insecure, and secure. Okay, so which one jumps out to me is the avoidant insecure attachment style. Because on one hand, the narcissistic mom, right, she acts like she's approving of her daughter, but she's envious of her daughter. She's insecure, yet she's projecting that onto her daughter. Unfortunately, the good daughter experiencing this, right, for a long period of time, by the time she grows up, she's still experiencing this. So she may become avoidant herself. She may her insecurities may be compounded by that point. Okay, it may be intensified. Why? Because her mother, on one hand, is being avoidant, and on the other, she's projecting her I was going to say her unmet needs, but she may be married, but her unresolved issues onto her daughter. She's projecting that. She's blaming her without actually being direct and saying, I blame you for all of the problems that I have. So it's her insecurity being projected onto her daughter. Yet, on the other hand, she's avoidant. She's not coming clean with her daughter. She's not having that heart to heart. She's not making peace with her daughter. She's not doing anything. It's like she's going to war, or she's raging war with her daughter. And it's, it's just, it's unfortunate. But the avoidant, insecure attachment style, I think, is also the most harsh. When narcissistic mothers choose to focus on maintaining her false self-images, this will place the mother-daughter relationship in jeopardy. Okay, so that's really, self-explanatory, but the mother-daughter relationship can absolutely be hurt by this whole dynamic. All right, laying the foundation. Okay, I'm going to read an article. The link is in the description box when the stream is posted. Laying the foundation for third-party situations. Okay, so you're building a future, and here's why. Raising your child in a way that makes them believe you're there for them means that they actually experience less fear than children who aren't raised that way. The precious feeling of trust is built during infancy, childhood, and adolescence. You're granted a good few years to get it right, and influences future relationships. So this influences future relationships. Take note, however, that at 6 months old, your baby is already beginning to anticipate your responses to their distress, and they're already shaping their own behaviors to jive with those responses, or match those responses. Okay, or to be sensitive to those responses. By giving your child positive caretaker experiences, they'll trust that others can do the same. So the reason why I pointed this out, guys, is because when it comes down to the third-party situation, a woman who has the complex to please her mama and other people, right, the narcissistic mom and other people, this is what's happening. She is distressed. She's experiencing those relationships, those third party situations, emotionally, mentally, perhaps even financially. But is she expressing what she's experiencing? So let's just say she expresses these things to her mother and to her partner, right? These are two different third party situations, right? But she is expressing it. Let's just say she does this. But guess what? What is the response? She may be met with indifference. She may be met with hostility. She may be met with silence, right? So she may be rejected to a certain degree. So when the narcissistic mother has her daughter as a little girl, even as a baby, she's grooming her child to be a person that will suffer in silence. And even if they should choose to express their distress, the responses may be more painful or resulting in more pain, because narcissistic mom is not responding properly, right, to her daughter's distress. So this is going to set her daughter up for third-party situationships, whereas her needs are going unmet. And even if she has a brief courage, she has a brief moment where she gains courage to express what she's experiencing, she may be met with indifference. The responses to her distress is not going to end up something that she wants, right? Because she may be a person who's not validated. Okay, so I want to see if there was something else that I wanted to. Okay, all right, moving on. Third party situations with narcissistic mothers: meddling in personal life, setting up hostile situations with others, recruiting others to play the role of flying monkey, placing daughter in competition with her daughter, right? With her, I mean, setting her daughter up to compete for her affections, playing the matchmaker. Okay, last one first, playing the matchmaker. Sometimes narcissistic moms just have to meddle, and it kind of goes with the first point there, but meddling in their life. Now, they may play matchmaker. Narcissistic mothers often, they will vibe or they will resonate with other people who mistreat her daughter. Very interesting, because people who treat her daughter right, she may not like them very much. She may not really understand them. She doesn't vibe with them. She doesn't resonate with them because they don't have a dark personality like she does. Yet she's looking at her daughter being loved and cared for from somebody else, and she doesn't understand that. That gets on her nerves. That doesn't that doesn't set right with her, because it doesn't match the false narrative that she has created of her daughter, the script that she has written for her daughter, and that is her daughter is a problem. Her daughter is a burden. Her daughter isn't worth the time to learn how to love, to know, to even get to know. Her daughter is a problem. That is the overall message that the good girl, the good daughter has been receiving since childhood. So she may play matchmaker. She may try to match her daughter with somebody that will treat her not so right, okay? Or she will not get what she wants out of that relationship. The daughter may be left starving for affection. So the mommy dearest issues will continue, but it will move on to the third party situation with her lover or her husband or her partner. So meddling in personal life goes hand in hand with that. Narcissistic moms, they can't just let well enough alone sometimes. They have to meddle in their adult child's life. Their daughter may have a successful life, a successful career, a successful relationship, but narcissistic mom, she has to come in and meddle. Okay, she wants to be a part of that. She doesn't want to share the source supply with anyone. So if her daughter is showing that she has a successful life and she's doing pretty well without narcissistic mom, well, that's going to rub narcissistic mom the wrong way. So in order to maintain or regain control of her daughter, she may try to meddle in her life, whether it's financially, personally, emotionally, so on and so forth. So setting up hostile situations with others. That means that if the daughter has siblings, right? Narcissistic mom, I kind of touched on this already. Narcissistic mom, she may pit one sibling against the other and sit back and watch and get all the sore supply. She may be reigned as mother of the decade or mother of the century, right? She's being held in high regard. Yet she's projecting the things that she doesn't like about herself onto her daughter, who has a complex to please her, right? So she's setting up hostile situations. She may even go and tell, if she has a lover or a partner or a husband, she may go behind her daughter's back and tell them something that's just not true. That's the smear campaigning, right? She may gaslight her daughter into believing that she's the crazy one, right? She's not doing such a thing. She's a good mom. She doesn't understand why she's, bringing some things up to her mom that reflects that she's not pleased with her mother. She may be hurt by her mom's action. But if she goes to her mom and say, well, mom, I don't understand why you do such and such, and this is hurtful. And narcissistic mom's response may be to gaslight her daughter into believing that her sense of reality is questionable. Okay? Her perspective of reality or the situation is just not true. It's not right. She has it all wrong. She may belittle her accomplishments. Narcissistic moms often will belittle the good daughter's accomplishments, right? She's missing out on so many of her accomplishments. She's missing out on her daughter's life, right? As a woman, she's not growing with her daughter. So she may recruit others to play the role of flying monkey because why? Narcissistic mother wants everybody to believe the same thing she believes, and that is her daughter is a problem. She is a victim of circumstance because she has a daughter who's a problem. She has a daughter who's burdensome. She just, the daughter cannot do anything right. Yet the narcissistic mom sees herself as being a woman who cannot do any wrong. So she may get her other siblings to chime in and say, see your other siblings are doing quite well. Okay, they think that I'm the best. So she may look at the daughter who has a complex and ask her the question, well, why are you looking at me as a person who is bad? Just because the narcissistic mother doesn't want to face the reality that she has these false self-images. She has a mask that she is affixing to all of her false self-images, from that of a martyr to a saint to a victim who cannot seem to catch a break. But in this case, having a third-party situation, right? Well, the victim, she's a victim because her daughter is a problem. But that isn't reflective of reality. Her daughter is a person who's warm, caring, kind. She's going to bat for her mom. She goes the extra for her mom. She's doing the mostest for her mom. Yet, she's not being treated very well. She is not being regarded as a person who's a gift, who's a pleasure, right? Her mother treats her like she's a burden. So this may be confusing to the daughter who has the complex to please her narcissistic mom, especially when she's growing up. But as an adult, she may start to see that something is not quite right? And she may start to trust herself for a change, setting her daughter up to compete for her affections. This may, she has siblings. This may be the case. She has other family members that may see her mother as, because she's a mom, they don't see, other relatives may side with her mother rather than the woman who has the complex to please her mama. She has the good daughter complex. Therefore, she's not regarded as a person who is simply trying to please her mom. She wants her mom. She's looking for the validation, right? So that doesn't make her bad, but some people in her family may look at her as a problem, just like narcissistic mom does. Unfortunately, narcissistic mothers who are obtaining source supply by covert means, they may be able to pull this off for a while. And that is getting other family members to play the dysfunctional role of flying monkey. And should the daughter walk away from it all and say, okay, forget this. I'm not going to deal with this hostility. I'm not going to deal with this drama anymore, especially now that I'm an adult. I'm a wife, I'm a mom, or, I've gone on with my life. I'm not going to deal with this. So narcissistic mom, she may recruit others in the family, maybe even her partner, even her friends, right? Anyone that she can, to try to hoover her daughter back into a third-party situation with her, or a unfavorable situation with her where she is maintaining control. At the end of the day, like most narcissists, when it comes to narcissistic mothers, they want the control. They're not really interested in the connection. They want the control. All right, so playing matchmaker. Again, she may meddle in her daughter's romantic life. Anything good that her daughter has going on, this often doesn't match or is not reflective of the false narrative that narcissistic moms often create of their daughters. They create false images of their daughters, right? In real life or in real time or reality, her daughter is very loving, caring, warm, kind. She has beautiful characteristics, but narcissistic mom will often try to, if not smear campaign, she will try to bring up rumors, and she will try to gossip about her daughter, and she may paint her daughter out to be this person that she isn't. Unfortunately, sometimes it works. In narcissistic mom, she's able to convince others that her daughter is a problem, her daughter is a burden. Okay, tool number 1. Question the information that is given, especially if your intuition is telling you that something is wrong. Very often when women have a complex to please their narcissistic moms, or they have the good daughter complex, very often they will turn away from their intuition. Why? Because they were groomed to do so by a narcissistic mom. So when something is telling you it's, something's wrong, don't be afraid to question that. Question the information that narcissistic mom is given, especially if your spider senses, they're starting to tingle, and you just know your inner voice is saying, wait a minute, something's not right here. But this is another way that narcissistic mom keeps control of their daughters, and that is to give them bad advice. So unfortunately, if a woman continues to have that complex to please her narcissistic mom, she will, even at the age of 30, she will continue to go to her mom for advice. Unfortunately, she's getting bad advice. And that is because she still wants the validation from mom. That is because, and the reason why she keeps going back is because she wants the validation from mom. She wants to continue to reach mom, and in hopes that she will, finally reach mom and that her mom will accept her. But, narcissistic moms, sometimes they come off like nothing really pleases them. Nothing is really ever good enough, right? So, okay, second tool, take steps to learn how to say no when you mean it. Unfortunately, women who have the complex, the good daughter complex, often they will become people pleasers. Simply put, they can become yes people, even in the workforce. Not just personally, but professionally. They become yes people. They say yes when they mean no, and sometimes it's the other way around. They say no when they mean yes. Okay? So take the steps to learn how to say no when you mean it. It's okay. You don't have to go and explain, and you don't have to apologize for things that you haven't done. But this is the thing. When a person has a narcissistic mom, when a person who has the complex, right, the good daughter complex, very often they will end up carrying their relationships. They're the ones that's left in the relationship, right, to fix everything. And literally, if they are left to pick up the pieces. They are left to figure out, to attempt to figure out what happened. Why were they treated that way? What was going on? Right? What happened? Why did it end? Unfortunately, women who have the good daughter complex, they are often left trying to figure it all out alone. And guess what? People who have a dark personality, like a narcissist, they're not going to care. They don't think about what she may be going through. All they care about is that they have the source supply and they're on to the next. Okay? So third tool, consider setting some time aside for yourself. Learning how to relax again just for the sake of relaxation can prove to be a game changer. So it's okay to set some time aside for yourself. Get a little R&R. Relaxation can often provide you clarity to any situation you're going through. I'm speaking from experience. It provides that clarity. It provides balance. It provides peace of mind. It provides you with a lot of things, right? Okay? Harmony, peace of mind, and balance. So when you are comparing apples to oranges, what does that look like? That means you're looking for the contrast. It's a good idea to start looking for the contrast, especially if you're starting to feel overwhelmed and that, because you had relationships with your mom that were not so pleasant, narcissistic mom, right? It was very unpleasant. It's a good idea to start looking for those positive interactions, those positive relationships with other people. So comparing apples to oranges, this way you can get that sense of, wait a minute, I'm not a narcissist magnet. Everybody that I deal with is not mistreating me, right? Because you have that contrast. You have the before and after picture. You have the apples and oranges, the pros and cons, everything like that. That's very important, because after a woman has had a relationship with narcissistic mom, it is very easy to see how she can start to look at all relationships as a problem. Why even bother? She may start to lose faith in having relationships, positive relationships with others. She may give up. Okay? She may feel like she's obligated. She may think that she's obligated to stay in these third-party situations. Narcissists often like a network of narcissistic relationships, third-party relationships. They often like a network. They often just don't do one. They have a whole network. The narcissist is like that shape in the middle of a cluster, and then the other shapes are connected to it. See, the narcissist is in the middle, and everybody else is a cluster, right? They're connected to the shape in the middle, right? So narcissistic moms are no exception to that. She likes to be right in the center, soaking up all of the source supply, and she will not share the source supply. So if anybody is treating her daughter right, beautiful, that she has security, she's emotionally secure in her other relationships, narcissistic mom may try to meddle and come in and sabotage that. And that's another way that she wants to maintain control, yet she's avoiding connection with her daughter. Totally, making that relationship very tensed. So a woman who has the good daughter complex, she may find it very difficult to express what she is experiencing. The references and resources are in the description box, and also mind the other resources there, okay? I want you to go ahead and make sure you take care of yourself as well as each other. Okay, until next time, stay tuned for more videos, live stream, and podcasts.